like to pass on the word to Stephanie. And Stephanie, can you please explain what are the opportunity, the challenges for clean hydrogen from the Nobian perspective, and how do you integrate hydrogen certification into your activities?
Yes, thank you, Wouter, for giving me the word, and thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to this panel discussion. Can you already please move to the next slide, Anne? Thank you. So my name is Stephanie Kool. I work as a business development manager for green hydrogen at Nobian. And to start, this looks a little bit like a slide also presented by Wouter. But I think the key is here, we all want to live in a carbon neutral environment at the latest by 2050. And to do this, we have to work together. We have to build up new change. We have to initiate, build, develop sustainable solutions for our future economy. As mentioned, there's a lot of renewable power, and this is still increasing. And there are means we are looking for to store this energy. And one of the solutions is hydrogen. It can be used directly as an energy carrier into the mobility, as explained. But we also need to think, how do we get to zero emission materials and fuels? And this is also where hydrogen can play a role. Together with other zero-emission feedstocks, like for example bio-based materials, or we need to recycle more waste, we can combine that to create new fuels and materials, such as sustainable aviation fuels or green methanol, and there's multiple more examples. To build these new value chains, we need to team up. Everyone here needs to play roles. It's not one company who will achieve this climate neutral ambitions. We have to team up throughout the industry to make this work. What is also important here is that what I would like to show in this picture is that we also need to certify our green hydrogen. Because if the source is coming from the renewable power, we want to translate and transmit that value of renewable sources all the way throughout these value chains and into the end products. We need to prove to our customers where the origin is coming from and that the whole value chain is becoming green. Can you move to the next slide, please? A little bit more about the company I work for. We are a European leader in essential chemistry, and we're producing high purity salt, chloralkali, chloromethanes, and as a byproduct from the chloralkali, also hydrogen. We operate already today over 300 megawatts of electrolysis and have experience in this electrochemistry for over 100 years. So we know how to run this and operate these electrolysis plants, but we do this mainly in industrial clusters or industrial chemical clusters. So we also are used to work very close to our partners and often supplying them via pipelines as a partner and fully integrated in the chain. Next to that, as producing of chloralkali and running electrolysis capacity, it has a very high intensive demand for energy. As this is a given, we also build up a very strong green energy portfolio. We've been part of running, setting up and initiating a first wind consortium together with Google, Philips and DSM. These core competences of Nobian we also now translate to build up further and scale up the hydrogen value, as this is one of the ambitions, as mentioned also by Wouter from the European Commission, to reach those climate goals. One of the key things is the hydrogen, the green hydrogen, to play a role in this. In the press, there is a lot of announcements about large water electrolysis projects. We talk already about gigawatts. Wouter just mentioned to turn the steel making in a sustainable way. there is a lot of gigawatts needed. But the reality today is that the largest water electrolysis plants in Europe is only 10 megawatts. It's running up in the Nordics, and we've been operating it's been there for over 30 years. So getting from here to a gigawatt, we really need to scale up. And that's where we also partner with different partners in the industry to create the scale-up portfolio. To give some examples, in the northern part of the Netherlands, we're teaming up with OCI and GasUnie, which is the Dutch natural gas infrastructure and transportation company, to build a 20 megawatt water electrolysis, and OCI will use this to make green methanol. Next to that, we're teaming up with Sky Energy and KLM to deliver 40 to 70 megawatts, and the green hydrogen will be used to produce sustainable aviation fuels. It's important that we build this hydrogen value chain to really make sustainable future value change, and especially in the hard to abate sectors. Near Amsterdam in IJmuiden, we're working with Tata Steel as a steel making company to make it more sustainable and deliver them hydrogen from 100 megawatt electrolysis. But we also make it available in the port of Amsterdam. And the other one is in Rotterdam, working with BP and the port of Rotterdam to bring hydrogen, renewable green hydrogen, also into the refineries. What you see here is that we're really working on developing the scale-up of this hydrogen to support all the ambitions we all have in getting to a carbon neutral environment and really making those climate goals. To do this, we need to have a transparent and uniform and reliable certification system for the green hydrogen, because it will allow us to pass on the value of the renewable energy into the downstream products. Can you please move to my last slide? So as mentioned before, we really strongly believe that we need to partner. It's not a one party who is going to reach this. We all need to team up to reach these ambitious climate goals. And we need to work together to establish this hydrogen economy. So I showed you some examples of how we are supporting the scale up, but we also have some experience in the mobility sectors. In the Nordics, we've been teaming up with different partners to enable that the buses in the region are running on the green hydrogen produced as a byproduct from our chlor-alkali plant in Delfzijl. We also are participating in a project for transforming an inland waterway vessel to run on hydrogen. Both of them are nice examples how we slowly are building towards this hydrogen economy. And that is what we are all trying to achieve. In these partnerships we have been engaging in, we have been also a partner of Certify from the very beginning. So during the different phases of the Certify project, we've been able to certify our plant in Rotterdam, chlor-alkali plant in Rotterdam, under the Certify scheme. And with this, we are able to issue guarantees of origin for green hydrogen already today. And we've been able to also sell this together with the green hydrogen, proving to our customers that the hydrogen they are buying is made from renewable sources and that it is green. And in that way, they can use it in their processes to translate that value. Next to this pilot certification, we've also already certified the plant in Delfzijl commercially ourselves. And we are planning to do that with the other plants we have in Germany also. It's interesting to see that just recently we've made the first trade on guarantees of origin for the green hydrogen. So this is showing that the market is starting today and that there is a market for the guarantees of origin and there is a market for green. What I see for certifying to continue with these guarantees of origin is that the timing is now. We need to develop this market further. And in order to have a successful certification system, it needs to be uniform. It needs to be European, as the hydrogen market is also European, it's even global. We've seen in the gas certification that it started national, and that took a long time to align it along a European level. We don't want that for hydrogen, and we don't have the time to do that. Splintering of the certification system would be bad for business, and it will delay the development of a sustainable value chain. So from our perspectives, as one of the players in the industry, as one of the already having certified plants and issuing certificates today, we see that the certification system really needs to be reliable and transparent. It needs to give confidence to policymakers and to buyers and suppliers. It needs to enable that we can transmit the value of the renewable energy source to the end product. The certification system also needs to be affordable, as all the costs will be transferred into the value chain. So issuance of certificates, the audits, the system itself, all needs to be cost competitive. Last but not least, as mentioned before, the certification system should be there now. And there is a clear momentum for the hydrogen economy, and it is of the biggest essence to further build this sustainable value chain together. So this is an insight on how we in the industry have been working with the Certify and how we see the value of the guarantees of origin.